YouTube Nation? Manvan TV, aka Me TV, aka Hockey Fights Cancer again in Philadelphia. And for those who weren't at the game last night, man, media, y'all just need to shut the fuck up at this point. Y'all see that? Just shut the fuck up at this point, man. Y'all don't know when to stop, all right? You just keep getting proven wrong more and more every time. Seriously. But I need to move on. I want to talk about one Tim Tebow. That's right. We're going to start the show with Tim Tebow today. And I want to say this now because I don't hate Tim Tebow. I've said this before. I don't hate Tim Tebow, all right? I hate the hype that's surrounded by Tim Tebow, which is caused by the media. However, Denver fans, what the hell is wrong with you guys when you start putting billboards up of Tim Tebow? Denver fans, you are delusional, and it's pathetic that you would do something like that. But I want to talk about ESPN because they fucking up too, guys. ESPN. You see this? Enter Tebow. Come on, are you serious? And we're going to talk about this hype, all right? We are going to talk about the hype, but first, I want to talk about by the numbers, all right? Because there are no exceptions for Tim Tebow. I'm not trying to hear it, all right? When you're a quarterback in the NFL and you throw for 161 yards, all right? 2 touchdowns. One was a 2-yard touchdown. One was what, a 5-yard touchdown? I'm not trying to hear it. That is laughable. Any other quarterback would have been laughed at and said they don't belong in the league. Tim Tebow is not the exception. It's not. I don't care if it's his first full start. I don't care. All right? Rookies have played better than that. I'm not trying to hear it. All right? Tim Tebow has mechanics problems, and I said that before, but he does have a strong arm. Now, I will say this because ESPN, other than Skip Bayless, who's still kissing Tim Tebow's ass, he might as well just go to work wearing an I Love Tebow shirt as far as I'm concerned. All right? But that's not the point. All right? There are many people on ESPN now, when they were hyping him up, now that Tebow hasn't met their expectations, now they want to throw him under the bus. That's what it comes down to, all right? So ESPN, many so-called analysts have killed this guy, all right? I mean, buried him. Chris Carter, look, I understand that people are going to say Chris Carter is a big Tebow hater, so is Merrill Hodge and all them, and Trent Dilfer, all these guys. These guys have rings. These guys are legends. I won't say Merrill Hodge is that much of a legend, but Chris Carter knows what he's talking about. And he talks about not Tebow as in quarterback aspects, but how he hurts receivers. And he goes in great detail about how he hurts receivers. And to co-sign what Chris Carter said, Denver teammates came out and said the same thing, all right? They said, look, we support Tim Tebow, all right? Nobody's perfect, but he is very frustrating to play with because of the fact that he's not hitting targets when they're open. He's just doing whatever he wants. It doesn't make any sense. He's not ready for the system, all right? And for anyone who saw the game, when was it? Tim Tebow overthrew that one receiver? Yeah, all right? And Kyle Orton's on the sideline. He's like, how the fuck did he overthrow him? Kyle Orton, I'm going to back Tebow on this part, all right? Kyle Orton, if you hit more targets yourself, Tim Tebow wouldn't have your job. However, this is a popularity contest at this point because how do you become a 4th-string quarterback and jump to the 1st string? It doesn't make any sense. You all of a sudden become a starter, even you're 4th string. You got to be kidding me, all right? 4th on the depth chart, now all of a sudden you're a starter. It's clearly... It's fandom out there. It's a popularity contest. People in Denver, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're being duped. But let's talk more about Tim Tebow, all right? Let's talk more. Because Skip Bayless, this is the hype that I really hate, all right? This is what part I hate. Because as we know, Tim Tebow went back to Miami. He's wearing number 15. He played for the Florida Gators. So he said, when he was reporting it, there were so many fans in the stands. There was more Tim Tebow jerseys than there were Dolphin jerseys, all right? Now, I don't know how much that's true, all right? However, they said he was there's more 15s in the stands. He's wearing number 15. The game was tied at 15. And Skip Bayless comes out and says, it was a sign from God. Yeah, that's what he says. That is a joke. And I'm tired of this whole religion thing because as far as I'm concerned, when players score, they do all this and carry on and, you thank God. But when they mess up, I don't see him thanking God then. When they lose, I don't see him thanking God then. For those who remember, Stevie Johnson came out not too long ago, and blamed God for dropping that one pass in the end zone, last season? Yes, it was on his Twitter when he did it. So you're going to praise God when you do good, but when you do bad, you're going to blame God. See, this is a problem. And this is why they always talk about sports and religion. They need to be separate. And I agree because I understand that people have different beliefs, but you can't be for God one minute and then when you fail, say, oh, fuck him. You can't do that. That's wrong. Regardless what you believe in, that's wrong. All right. Same thing with John Kitna when he said it. He said when he wins football games, yeah, John Kitna. When he wins football games, it means that God loves that team more than the others. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely asinine. No way can you sit here and say that. You know what? Let's move on. As far as I'm concerned, because the NFL has really just gotten out of hand. I mean, seriously, Chris Johnson, this guy, I said last time, because you Titans fans came to me a couple weeks ago and said that Chris Johnson came out and said that, when he was doing his contract dispute, that, they're not really fans, the Tennessee Titans, because they want him to just take whatever money and play for the team. If anything, yes, they're fans of the Titans because they want you back, before he had signed his contract. Yeah, they want you in camp as fast as possible. Well, this week he comes out and says that he's not the problem when it comes to the Tennessee Titans. He's not the problem. But when you look at the numbers, he hasn't done anything this year. So who's the problem then? I'll put it like this. If you're a player and you say that you aren't the problem, then you obviously have an idea of who is the problem. So someone needs to come out and say, okay, well, since you feel you're not the problem, who is? Point it out. I did this last week with the Eagles. Did I not? What was it, 2 weeks ago? When they were like, oh, well, it's the players that are the problem, not the coaches. All right, well, then pick out which players is the problem then. Seriously, do not make blanket statements and not back them up. I hate that. Absolutely hate it, all right? Anyways, let's move on. Monday Night Football. The Ravens were screwed in the second half. If anyone saw that huge hit, that's a hit. That's a hit. That's not a penalty. That's not a fine. And these guys can't even play physical football anymore. They can't. All right? And we saw that not too long ago with the Falcons was that Matt Ryan got hurt. And now everyone's making this big deal. They were taunting Matt Ryan. Hey, if your lineman didn't step on his ankle because it was your lineman's fault, all right, this wouldn't be a problem. To say that it was karma, I don't know if it was karma. But understand that karma does come back to hurt some people. I hope Matt Ryan's okay, because you never want to see an athlete get injured. You know what I mean? When they're just trying to make a living, they're trying to play a sport, they're privileged to play a sport until they become an asshole about things. Then it's like, you know what, fuck you, I don't care what happens to you. But, Matt Ryan's never done anything to anyone, at least I haven't seen. We don't know what goes on between the lines or in huddles, we don't know. But, it is what it is. I don't understand why players are all of a sudden getting so sensitive about what other players taunt. Back in the day, this happened all the time. All the time. If you hurt a quarterback, guys will stand over you and talk shit about you while you hurt. Like, this is nothing new. To say that's unsportsmanlike, it goes to show you that these guys have turned soft. And when you have all these rules protecting them, they don't know when to stop them out. That's what it comes down to. All right? Now, I want to move on to hockey, guys. Seriously, hockey. That's right. For those who don't know, Flyers Chris Pronger, high stick to the face last night. I was at the game. Pretty much damn good seats. I could see exactly what was going on. It was just up close. And I was reporting via Twitter what was going on with Pronger's injury before the media did. That's right. All right. And then people were like, we don't know how long he'll be out. And I was like, I guarantee you it'll be 2 to 3 weeks if the Flyers treat him with kid gloves. Then all of a sudden, Howard Eskin, it'll be 2 weeks. Then now today they're saying it'll be 2 to 3 weeks, but he's got to wear a visor. Now, look, as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand what's going on here. I think it's a joke. All right. That there was no call when he got high sticked right in the eye. No call. No call. All right, and people were mad last night. If you just heard some of the fans last night, they were just, one guy was like, fuck you, and the fan went back and was like, yeah, what he said, and people would just start laughing. It was a great game, don't get me wrong. Yager had 4 breakaways. Now I say this, 4 breakaways. Media is saying that it's 3. No, he had 4 chances for a breakaway, but on one of those breakaways, he lost the puck before getting further. All right, 4 breakaway chances, 2 goals. Scotty Hartnell, we talked about this before. The line he was on was not helping. That's why he hasn't been scoring all season, all right? And as you know, Scotty Hartnell is the type of guy who needs to get into the paint, into the crease where the goalie is, stand right in front of the goalie and try to make things happen. They shifted him off the line that he was on originally, and now he's scoring goals, all right? That's what it comes down to. Pronger, like I said, will be out, and it seems like if this keeps happening, the NHL will force every player to wear visors as far as I'm concerned. This is, seriously, all right? It's going to happen, all right, eventually. And I want to say this baseball news. The Texans, guys, Texas Rangers. Yeah, you guys, I hope you win the World Series, all right? I really hope you guys win. I was really upset at the Rangers on Sunday, especially what happened with Pujols. And I want to talk about this real quick, all right? Pujols is a crybaby, all right? For those who know, before what happened on Saturday, when he had that historic game on Saturday, before that, he had a horrible game. He refused to talk to the media because he was so hurt and so mad at how he played. Then, when he had that historic game, it was, hey, guys, come talk to me. We've seen this way too much. We saw wide receiver 10 not too long last season when he had that bad game and didn't want to talk to the media. Then when he had the next great game, what happened? Oh, now you want to talk, This has become a problem with athletes. All right, now you're seeing it starting to spread. These divas, don't matter what sport at this point, all right? These divas, yeah, it's going to be a problem. You have a bad game, you can choose not to talk to the media, but when you have a good game, hey, everyone come talk to me. No, understand, when you have a bad game, you got to talk to them as well. It's part of being a professional. If you can't take it, shut it down like Randy Moss then. Shut it down. Either don't do interviews completely or do all the interviews. Stop complaining, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, Rangers, you pissed me off on Saturday because after that game, and I say this, after that game, Sunday's game before you guys won Sunday and Monday apparently, Sunday's game before that, there was guys in the locker room high-fiving each other. They were watching the Dallas Cowboys game. They're high-fiving each other and yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't you be getting ready for a baseball game? What the hell are you watching the Dallas Cowboys? I understand it's a whole Texas thing or whatever, but you lost 16-7 on Saturday. 16-7 in a World Series game, 16-7, all right? And you're going to tell me that all of a sudden you're laughing and joking? No. And and I'm seeing this by athletes. It's almost, it questions their drive at this point. I understand, like I said, I understand the Rangers, they won those next 2 games. I understand that. They're up. I really hope they win the World Series. However, like I said, we saw this not too long ago with Prince Fielder, but the game that they were going to be eliminated, all right? It was in the 9th inning or whatever. He's laughing. They're down, and he's laughing. What the fuck are you laughing about? What are you laughing about? You're getting ready to be eliminated from going to the World Series, and you're laughing. I don't understand this with athletes. And it seems like athletes these days just don't care because, for those who don't know, Boston Red Sox, all right? Pitchers have come out and said the starting pitchers were drinking in the locker room before the game. They would do it every game. They would just sit around and drink in the locker room. What? Now, you guys know how I feel about this because I did this with a couple weeks ago, because I should say a couple months ago, with Baez when he was with the Phillies, when he had the liquor, and I showed you the picture of the liquor in the locker room. I had a problem with that because I said alcohol there's no reason. You want to go out and drink, fine, but there's no way you should have it in the locker room. Now you telling this guy's coming out from Boston and he's saying that they were drinking right before the game? They were drinking. You gotta be kidding me. They obviously, a lot of these athletes do not appreciate what they have. They just don't. They don't care. If that's the case, go join a beer league. No way should you be drinking in the locker room before a game. Before a game. Oh, you're up. Oh, really? I guess I got to go out there. And then you're not your sharpest. And I've also said before how I feel players should be in top shape. You know, you're getting paid millions of dollars. The least you can do is stay in great shape. You got these guys hanging out there, pitchers with stomachs out to here. You got to be kidding me. It's a joke. It really is, man. You know what? I need to move on. All right, I want to talk about some basketball. For those who saw the new Michael Jordan commercial, you know what? I want to go there first. David Stern has canceled the next 2 weeks of basketball, and you know what? It's a joke. All right, and I keep going back to this because I'm going back to his original threat where he said if something wasn't done soon, he was going to cancel the entire season. All right, they've had what 2-3 meetings now, and he still hasn't canceled the entire season, which means it's a joke. His threats mean nothing. That's what it comes down to. And Bryant Gumbel, man, let me tell you, Bryant Gumbel, for those who don't know, all right, Bryant Gumbel came out and said that David Stern is some type of new age plantation owner. Are you fucking kidding me? Bryant Gumbel, shut the fuck up, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone, you know, we see this a lot when it comes to when athletes don't get their way. We have race coming out of nowhere. When LeBron left Cleveland, we had to hear Jesse Jackson open his fucking mouth. I had no business opening his fucking mouth, all right? And I proved that wrong completely in that video. And now Bryant Gumbel's coming out with this shit. Now, mind you, for the last 20 years, black folks has looked at Bryant Gumbel as white. Let's be honest here, all right? People have looked at Bryant Gumbel and Greg Gumbel as white. It wasn't just, oh, well, they're, you know, very articulate black men. No, all right? They were looked at as white. Bryant Gumbel even went on record one time and said when he was in Harvard, he didn't experience any type of racism back in his day. Now, that's bullshit. We all know that's bullshit. But he's trying to save the institution from having any flack. That's what that is, all right? Now, let's get down to this. Because Bryant Gumbel is the last person to come out and say anything about David Stern. Is David Stern an idiot? Yes. Is he an asshole? Yes. Does he care about the game? No, he doesn't. Nobody likes David Stern. But to say that you want to start throwing racist tendencies at him, no. That's just completely wrong. Completely wrong. Bryant Gumbel, you fucked up, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't even know how you still have that show on HBO anyway, all right? Don't sit there in your little seat with your little glasses, blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here, all right? Old-ass media needs to be replaced with new generation people. That's the problem. Now, I want to move on. Like I said about basketball, for those who saw the Michael Jordan commercial last night, that's right. They showed Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony. They were going all these places. They were playing in 40 and under leagues, rec leagues, overseas leagues. It was just pretty much street ball. Anywhere you went, any type of rec league, they went to play. And then, and the message at the end was, no matter where you play, you should enjoy the game pretty much. And they almost set it up to say, you know what? The NBA is going to have this lockout. They're going to have this lockout. You know what I mean? That was right there. That was the defining moment to me that said it's done. It's done. These players, like I said, the fans will move them. And some of you guys said in the messages last week, that, oh, it can't happen. Why would they do that? They would be taking a hit on money, and they would have to rent out places, and they have to perform only. Yes, it would take a lot. But if you love the game, that's what you'll do. That's what you're not understanding. These guys have all the connections in the world, all right? They do. For them to say, oh, well, they'll be taking $1 million hits if they don't stay with the NBA and want to form an league, they're already rich. They are already rich. They have money, all right? There's no way you can sit here when you have all the agents, when you have all these guys, and I'll put it like this. If the NBA does get locked out and these guys decide to start going from league to league to league, understand that all those commentators will start going with them as well. All right, guys from TNT, do not even think that Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith won't go to these leagues and start commentating on them, just doing play-by-play. I'll put it like this. Do not underestimate TNT trying to pick it up. Don't underestimate ESPN trying to pick it up. Understand, guys, that if the NBA gets locked out, these players, wherever these players go, everyone will follow them. Media, fans, everything, shoe companies, everything, all right? Because it's them who make the sport. It's not, guys, anyways, it's a joke, all right? Anyways, I want to move on. I'm at, 15? All right, 16 around there, 15, 16. Look, I want to talk about this real quick. I want to give you guys a quick update. I want to say thank you first to Ed Snyder. For those who don't know what he did this week, or should I say last week, Ed Snyder saved a bunch of, hockey places to get renovated. One, I believe they just built one, they just renovated one in Southwest Philadelphia. All right, he's got like 2 or 3 hockey places that he's actually trying to, restore because the city was going to tear them down. They're going to tear him down. He stepped in and gave a lot of money for it, and I want to thank him for that because that's what I'm trying to do. All right, but it seems as though if you're not a big name, it doesn't matter. Now, I want to tell you guys because I told you last week that I was waiting for these people to call me back. Well, they called me back. Dumbest conversation I've ever had with somebody. All right, first off, person isn't in their office. This Mr. Harris isn't in their office, right? Okay, now. I'm going to put it like this, guys. So, he says in his voicemail to leave a detailed message of what's going on, right? So I do that. I leave a detailed message, my name, my phone number, why I'm calling, right? He calls me back. Obviously, he doesn't listen to his message because he's asking, who is this? And he says, why are you calling me? Why am I calling you? How did you get my number? What? Are you serious? This is what you're giving me. This is that. Now, mind you, I left a detailed message. Obviously, he did not listen. What you requested, Mr. Harris, was for me to send you a detailed message on your voicemail. Obviously, you didn't listen to it. So for you to ask me the same questions I'm already like, you've got to be kidding me. So we got to go through this again? So I explain who I am. I explain why I'm calling. And then he just gets quiet. And I'm thinking he's going to say something because, I'm relaying back. So I'm waiting for him to, hit that ball back to me. You know what I mean? Doesn't say anything. So I start talking again. And then he asks the question, first question of the day, all right, when it comes to the business. Where are you going to get the money for this? Where am I going to get the money for this? Really? Well, all that money out there in the city, and don't tell me you're broke, all right? Do not tell me that, all right? But when all that money out in the city, don't tell me the city doesn't have any damn money. There's no reason why every municipal worker needs to have 2010 cars. What happened? Did the 09 cars all of a sudden, all of them just break down in unison? Don't tell me that you don't have any money. It's useless spending, all right? Don't tell me that shit. And then he gonna go, I said, all right, fine. The city doesn't want to give any money, all right? Fine. So I said, well, we can go through nonprofit organizations and such. And he said, that's a good idea. You want to know why? Because it doesn't cost the city anything. That's why, all right? Every time I try to talk to the mayor, I get the runaround. I am tired of getting the runaround. And he said himself, you're talking to the wrong person about this. Why would they sit here and give you my phone number? I said, first off, you gave me the phone number, but they did relay me to him, all right? And he said that because, like I said before in my video, what I needed was somebody with city planning and Parks and Recreations, and they gave me a youth advisor. The chief youth advisor. And I said, well, what did I say last week? I said, if I have to go through him, I will. All right. But he said himself, they shouldn't have sent you to me. So they're giving me the runaround. I'm so tired of this. All right. Every time I try to get something done, I'm going to speak about this for a minute. All right. Because every time I turn around, we have to hear, all right. And I'm telling you now, if you don't like what I got to say, turn off the video. Every time I turn around, we got to hear black people don't do shit for their communities, don't do shit for the city. All they do is take, and all they do is fucking lazy. That's all we ever hear. Well, this black person's trying to do something, and you give him the runaround, and you ignore him. And then you say afterwards, see, we told you they don't want to do nothing. That's what happens. It's a joke. It's a joke. How does anything get done here? And it's sad because, like I said, these guys work real hard at tweeting. They do, real hard. I'm at this place doing such and such. I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't you be fucking working? Seriously. And Mr. Harris just not too long ago said, what was it? About an hour ago on his Twitter, yeah, all right, says, him and Ronnie Brown went to Southwest, West Philadelphia High School. And, he went to go speak to kids about the youth and bullying. Come on, man. Seriously, I understand that Ronnie Brown's trying to do something, but it seems like if you're not a big name athlete or a big name guy around here, all right, shit won't get done. There is no way that all of a sudden you can say, we don't have the money for this, and we don't have, the time to do this, but then you go and get Ronnie Brown and go to the schools. Nah, and then over the weekend they were like, oh, we went to this basketball tournament, it was great. No, what? Seriously, places need to be built, people need to come together, and yet you guys are still about yourselves. All you care about is a fucking paycheck. You don't care. And when I was talking to him, all right, most defeatist attitude I've ever seen, ever. I don't know if this can get done. And he says to me, let me, look at some information and I'll get back to you. Now, you guys know how I am. If you're going to say you're going to get back to me, I'm waiting. I'm waiting right here and now. Let's do this. All right? It's been a week. I still haven't heard anything. I'm telling you now, City Hall, this is a warning shot. If you do not get back to me by next week, you can expect a new show. That's right, you expect a new show. Documentary style. I will go down into every neighborhood. I will record every person talking. I will show you every problem when it comes to malt liquor ads, the cigarette ads. Yes, because I do have, City Hall pushing liquor ads on Twitter. Yes. Rapper house parties pushing liquor. Yeah. And then they say it's the youth that's the problem. I have that. Yeah, I got the screenshot of that. So you know what? Keep fucking with me. Understand that these videos, my camera, I'm telling you now, they're weapons. This is a weapon. It's a weapon. Whether you like to believe it or not, I'm telling you, you do not want to go up against me, City Hall. I will make your life. I'm telling you now, especially now that elections are coming around, yeah, I'll make your lives a living hell. I'm tired of playing with you. All right? It's really that simple. All I'm asking is to try to make things better. And all I keep hearing is, I don't know. We don't know if we can do that. You never give me a straight answer, and then I have to hear excuses. The time for excuses is over. Either you can't do it or you can do it. It's that simple. And I'm telling you, anybody out there, if you got Ed Snyder's number, if you can, seriously, I'll call him. If you can get the number for it, I'll call him. I'll talk to him about, renovating some of these places. But he can't do it on his own. He can't. I'm just tired. I really am. All right? Because I'm tired of getting around. Let's do this while you can. The season is changing. Now is the time. All right? But you don't want to hear that. You just want to worry about yourselves and sit in your little seats and think that you're so great. And that's all they do is kiss each other's ass on Twitter. Oh, credit to Michael Nutter and credit to this person and credit to that for having such a positive influence on such and such. And then when you see that, and then when the Twitter feed comes down, the next thing comes up, Philly.com, such and such was just killed. Such and such was just killed. Someone was robbed. Someone was kidnapped. It's like you're not doing it right. You're just not, you don't care. You don't care. Stop acting like you care. You don't care. Seriously. If you don't like your job, quit. Or is the money too good? Maybe that's what it is. The money's just too good and you only worry about yourselves. If you don't like your job, if you don't want to do your job, because like I said, when I'm on the phone with him and he's talking about look, if you won't give me all that bullshit, then seriously, then don't do it. That's serious. Tired of you fucking clowns. Say no one's do their job. You know what? I'm done. I'll talk to you later. I'm out, man.